All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting, fun-packed, and interesting edition of the Alumni Showcase. Good evening once again, and wherever you're joining us from, Nigeria, or rather Africa, Europe, Americas, I say welcome, and I hope your days have been going on very well. So for the very first for the people who are joining us for the very first time, this is the Alumni Showcase, an initiative of the Redeemers University Alumni Association, and this show intends to showcase all the excellent talents that have passed through our prestigious university. Tonight, we will be showcasing another very special person who has grown, how will I put it now, who has grown to be loved, yes, by many people because of the great works he is doing in the entertainment industry. My name is Jibike, and I won't be doing this alone. I have a host, I have a partner that'll be doing this with me, and I believe he's going to be joining us very shortly. But all I want to say is, you know what, today is going to be very interesting. So I just need you guys to, just be calm and get ready to have an evening of a lifetime. It is a live show, so please feel free, to bombard the comment sections. You want to ask questions, through all your questions there. You want to let us know where you are watching from. Please let us know where you are watching from, because we would love to know where you're watching from. And if possible, throw out one or two shout outs. So without further ado, I can't see my co-host, so I will just kick off, and hopefully my co-host will be joining me shortly. So just a quick biography, or a quick write-up from, or introduction, let me put it that way, about our guest. So our guest is a Nigerian actor, he's a comedian, he's an entrepreneur, and he is a social media influencer. I'm sure when you hear Oing, you're doing well. You already know who we are talking about. Yes. And he has been acting for so many years, but recently came into the limelight, after his series on Instagram. Now, in most of his skits, he plays the role of a sugar daddy. Yes. You're doing well. Omo. I'm sure by the time I'm saying all these things, you already know who I'm talking about, right? And the beautiful thing about his skits is, despite the fact that he is, throwing shades out there to sugar daddies, there is always a message, usually a message at the end of the skit. So he is actually, doing something satirical, humor with a message, if I'm allowed to put it that way. And he is no other than the very famous, the very popular, the very talented, the very exceptional Debo Adebayo, also known as Mr. Macaroni. Yes, Mr. Macaroni is our guest today on the Alumni Showcase, and I think he's in the studio, so I think it'll be good for us to have him. Oh yeah, hello.
Are you there? What's going on here? You're
All
doing
right, well,
well.
welcome. It's so good to have
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. How
Most
has been
welcome.
your day?
Great. In fact, we're working. I'm at an event at the moment, but I had to squeeze my way out, of course, because
Oh,
this is very
bless.
important to me. I'm a
Oh,
proud
bless.
I'm a proud alumni of Redeemers University, and anything that we're doing to showcase ourselves to the world and to further promote the culture, values, and beauty of our school is always welcome to me. So I'm happy to be here.
All right, thank you so much. We're also happy to have you with us. Thank you so much. I can see you guys, populating the comment section. Thank you guys. Show us some love, wherever you're watching us from. Just say a word of hello. Yes, Daddy Y is here. Daddy Y is here. It's actually funny that we can use they're just different phrases that we can use to identify, and shows how versatile and how talented you are. So let's just jump straight into the interview, because I know time is really precious for you. So the way this is structured is we have two segments. One is basically your time back in Reading Minds University, and I'm very sure you want to remember some of those wonderful moments. And obviously, we'll talk more, later down about your career and by the grace of God, your journey into the entertainment industry. So tell me, I read, I did my research, a little bit of research, anyways. So I read that you had gone to two previous schools before getting to Redeemers University. You were pursuing law, and you do up to a certain level, and then story will happen. and then you went to the next university, you did to another level, story happened again. You entered run, you had gotten to the end, then story wanted to happen. In fact, the story happened. But if
Yeah.
not for God, if not for God,
Yeah.
that would have, anyways, by the grace of God, everything resolved himself. So two questions here.
Yeah.
Why were you studying law? And then why the shift to theater arts? And the second
Um,
question, when all those things were happening, did you actually think your village people were behind you?
okay. Well, so I've always wanted to do law. Um, I find myself in a position where I always want to stand up for people. I want to stand up for myself first. I always say that you can't cheat me. I'm not available to be cheated. So anywhere I am, I speak up for myself. If I see that my rights are being trampled upon, I will talk. So then I also noticed that people around me too, I cannot, it's not just about me. I cannot bear to see people around me being hurt or being cheated. I would want to speak for them. So that's, and I noticed this when I was very, very, very young. you know there was one time, how old was I then? Maybe eight, yeah, 8 or 10, if I remember correctly. And my sister wanted to get into one kind of trouble, and the person was heavy and things, but I found that I was shy. Yeah, if you like beat me, I was there. So when I started to grow older and school, and then you go to university, and I started to think of all that time. I'm like, it would be good to study law, to be a lawyer, most
Hmm.
importantly, so that I can stand up for people, those that cannot afford to be fought for. I want to fight for them. I just had that push. But then, so it was actually three universities before Redeemers University you know.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
yeah. So when I went to the first one, in fact, it was going smooth, although I already had some issues with some lecturers, some authorities. There's something is common, especially in this part of the world. There once the person is older, or there are a certain group of elders in a university setting or a school setting, any setting you find yourself, people just automatically feel that whatever they have put in place is the right thing.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's not, and when they find people say, no, now I have reservations, so they say you are being rebellious. I,
Hmm.
I heard that word a lot of times. They say you're so rebellious, you're so, what is this insubordination? And a lot of big grammars to define what they mean by
Yeah.
someone just this is
Being different.
someone just standing up and saying, "Oh, look, that it has always been like this does not mean
Mhm.
it is the right thing." You know, if you have been doing something a particular way, and we're saying, "Oh, I have this suggestion," or "I have this reservation about what you're doing," I think the beautiful thing would be to hear other people out, no matter how young you think they are. You know, in this part of the world, just feel telling if the person is young, you that you are older than the person, you have the final say and you know what is right, which I didn't always find right. So anytime I had issues back then in school, I'll just say, no, I won't take this. And so let me say, I kind of developed a reputation for being like that. What the word, like I said earlier, they used is being rebellious. So, but me, I just feel like this is someone just saying, look, let's try things better. Let's do things better than the way we used to do them before. So, in the first school, what really happened was we led a protest to school because the law that we're doing at the time, the NUC came on national TV, and then they said that the law we were doing was not accredited, and that anyone that was doing law then was doing that at his or own risk in that particular university. And the university management did not tell us anything. They did not communicate with us. They didn't say anything. So we led the protest, and look, I said, you need to tell us what's going on. So it took, I think the protest lasted for a week thereabout, and at the end, I was out there. My face was out there. People already, um, it was like I led the protest, or it was like I was the cause of everything. Sha. So I had to leave the university. Then from there, I went to another university in I don't want to mention the names of these universities. So, but then I went to another university out of Nigeria, actually, but in this same Africa. In fact, in Benin Republic, that's where I went to the other university. And one thing led to the other. I actually had a an encounter with a lecturer, and it almost went physical. And it was still on the same. You are to who are you? How can a student be challenging a lecturer? It would have been better if they did not see it as challenging your lecturer. It would have been better if they saw it as just engaging. I call it engaging. So you want me, you're telling me this is it, this is the right thing to do. But I'm saying that I don't think it is. The Because we're in a university setting, the best thing would have been for you to explain to me, convince me that, oh, actually, yeah, this is why. And then I see reason. It's not for you to try to bully me and make me see what I'm not seeing or what I don't want to see. So I had to leave there too. And I went to the third one in Adoikiti. So I told myself, after the first and the second one, trying to do law, and it wasn't working out. I've always loved acting. I've always loved drama. Well, since I was very young. In fact, when at as far back as age 6, 7, if I remember vividly, I would sit in front of the TV. I'm watching Pastor Chris Oyakilome, and everything he's saying, the way he's preaching, I find myself doing exactly the same thing. And I'm saying it the way he's saying it, I'm moving the way he's moving. So everyone knew in the house, just knew this boy, he likes play and he can mimic people. So there was all these elements of drama was in me already. So I knew I loved it, but the law thing, I just wanted to do it so that I could speak up and stand up for people. But then after the first and second universities, I said, okay, maybe this law thing is not actually meant for me. Maybe I can use my voice or my work to correct certain things that I want to be corrected. But maybe I should just go back to what I really, really, really love doing, what I really, really have a passion for, which was acting. So I told my parents back then, I said, okay, look, I'll go back to school, but now I want to study theater arts. I want to go to school to do theater. And my parents always supportive, ever supportive. Everything I've wanted to do, everything I've wanted for myself, they have wanted it for me and with me. Their support was always there. So they said, no problem, that if I want to start to do theater, then I should. Then we had to look for a school that had theater. So that third one, what actually happened, it wasn't fight or anything. They gave me admission for theater arts. When I wrote the exams, I wrote the exam for theater arts. On getting to the university, because I wrote the exam in Lagos, getting to the university in Ado Ekiti, the dean of student affairs at the time now called me and said, my son, we have not started theater arts yet. I say, I say, which kind of while this like this? I wrote example. You gave me admission for theater arts. I'm getting to the university. You're telling me you have not started theater arts, that I should do English. And I'm asking the man, I said, sir, at this age, I know what I want for my life and I know what I want to do. This is fraudulent. How can you give people admission for one course? They are getting to the school, you are telling them that you don't have that course and they should do something else. So I was so upset. I caused the scene. My parents spoke to me over the phone. Actually, they didn't come down to the school. They said, "Look, Debo, this thing is simple. Do the English for the 1 year, right? When you finish the 1 year course for English, you'll get a transcript. You go to another school that actually has that, you know." But I was too upset. So I was in the school, but it was like I was not in the school. I was just causing trouble up and down. In fact, sometimes I would leave school to go for auditions, to go for because I was really vested in that theater arts. So lo and behold, end of session came and I was supposed to go to another university. And then my parents were like, "Oh, okay, just get your transcript now." And so that was where the wala started because I didn't even write exams. So so my dad, so I was now being tricky. And I said that, oh, okay, that I want to start from 100 level. That let me just start afresh. And my dad was like, no, he knows the boy that he has. That if I see another opportunity after three universities, if I see an opportunity to go to 200 level, I won't say I want to start from 100 level. That is not possible. That I should be truthful. That what really happened. So in a long time, I started to cry. I cried like a baby that day because I felt I had let them down. That one was on me. The others, I could not say they were on me. I think I just had this issue with authority. I just believe that sometimes authorities are not being fair. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. They are usually dogmatic. They just want to say, this is it, and you must do it this way, which I wasn't really buying. So I told them that, oh, well, they didn't have the theater, the English. I was depressed. I was this, I was that, blah, blah, blah. So they said, okay, one last chance to pick a university of your choice. Theater arts, you start from 100 level and hope to God you make it through this time. So, and they did not want me to go to a federal university. I said, no, I was never going to go to any university that is not private. So we looked around. It was Redeemers University that had theater arts, and then got so good. The dean of College of Humanities was Professor Ahmed Yerima. The HOD was Professor Kola Oyewo. You know, these are names that those in the theater field will know that. Oh wow, this you are in safe hands. So I applied, and lo and behold, I got admission. So 100 level, 200, 300, 400, also good. In fact, so from I think from 100 or 200 level, of course, I said to myself that when I get to the university, I'll be so quiet. I don't want trouble because they have given me last card at home and they said, look, if you don't finish this time around, you're on your own. So, but 100 level, 200 level, some certain things were happening. I had to talk. And then, of course, people started to know this guy, this guy, this guy. 300 level, I became social director for Ronsa Redeemers University Students Association. Then, 400 level, I became the student association president. So, you know how president association thing is now. Of course, authority too. Not to say that the school authority or management at the time was not good or whatever, but because we are students and because we 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 expect certain services and we expect that if these services are not provided, we have the right to ask why they are not provided and we have the right to demand for better. So, and of course, because we're also young and energetic, so the our blood is hot, and we are saying we want this, we want this. If I don't get this, nah, wahala. So everything went on quite good and easy because despite the wahala and everything that happened in school, I actually did finish my final exams. I defended my project. Everything was good till last minute, I think a week or 2 weeks to convocation, um, I received an expulsion letter for a Facebook post, a quote, this so that quote, a post rather. So the post I had made it. I met a certain professor, a former VC for that matter, of course, not of Redeemers University, so, and then I met him and I made some statements. And the school management at the time felt that the statement was directed at them and they found it insulting. And so I was invited to face a panel. And, on getting to the panel, I made my case and I let them know that Redeemers University was not my first university. I'd gone to quite a number of universities. And that post could actually have been for any university, Redeemers University. So they investigated, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they still came to the conclusion that it was about them. And that was what I was expelled for. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. Because Redeemers University happened, I gave a lot. I gave my strength
One question,
and
sir.
yeah.
One question, sir. But
Okay.
truly, who was that post for?
I'm not going to answer. All things have passed away. All things are far
Please
too
go
good.
ahead.
So, so like, it broke my heart. I'm like, no, not really much university. I mean, where was the panel that found that post that I put up? Where was that panel when I was marketing the university on the same social media platform and I was telling people, oh, I love Rivers University and I'm the president, make sure you come to my school, and all of the visits we're doing to orphanage, this, that, things to promote the image of the university. Where were they when I was doing all that? Nobody said anything. They didn't say, well done, no president. But then they saw a post and they said, "Oh, this one is for us," and they reacted and that. So it broke my heart. I told my parents. My parents asked me, "What do I really want?" I should just tell them, and I said, "I want us to take the school to court." Because I feel I'm being cheated. I feel that punishment is I do not deserve such a punishment. And my parents said, "Oh yes, well we stand with you." And okay, so we said, "Okay, let's go to court," and then we went to court, of course. But as God we have it, because like I said, Dumas University is a sweet school. Mwah. We decided to settle out of court, and was asked to make one or two apologies, do this, do that. But at the end of the day, we did settle out of court. But that moment when I received the expulsion letter, 2 weeks to convocation, it was like they are chasing this boy.
Village people,
They
what
are
do?
chasing this boy. It got to a level like some pastors had to come to the house and they were telling my mom, I was in the room, and they were telling my mom that, Ọmọ yìí, honestly, ó yẹ ká gbàdúrà fún àwọn kankan ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan báyìí. I told my mom, I said, Mommy, I'm not dying anybody lóhùn nǹkan kan ṣe mí o. You know, me nǹkan kan ṣe mí, So, but I thank God for strength, though. But it would have been
Yeah,
that
okay.
moment that what's going on? You were done. I was done already. But
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that one thing, and they say that you are getting expelled and stuff. So, but when we
In
settled,
the end, all
everything was
worked,
sweet,
all
and
worked well.
we thank God for where we are now.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that. That was a real brief whistle top, whistle stop history from beginning
Yeah,
to the end of your university days. And thank you so much for that. You said so much, and I think now I understand why you're always in front, because you have a passion to stand up for the voiceless, or just to just speak out when people or when things are not done properly, or when you feel things need to be changed, and that is
yeah.
absolutely great. So I think my assistant, that's not sorry, my co-host is here. Osas, are you here? Right, Osas is here. So hi, Osas.
Hi everyone. Hi
What's
Debo.
that? You're
You
doing
don't
well.
say oh. You don't say.
You're
Been
doing
a
well.
while. How have you
Yeah,
been, sir?
fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine, fine. I was wondering how you're gonna do this because I know you had a wedding
Yes,
uh today.
I'm there. I kept to hide inside the car like this.
All right, all right. All right. So it's really nice. It's really nice to see, the amazing things that you do, with
Thank
the skits, most especially um building, aside from the fact that you are building a global, fan base, you're also um evoking people's emotions by what you do in the positive way though.
you.
And you are also creating change, um which is really important, creating change and adding value, because many
Thank
people do what you do and then you're wondering what exactly are these people doing or saying? And that is the most important thing. You are evoking change, you are creating, lasting value and impact. And I'm sure many years down the line, someone will look at your videos and say, and probably, who knows, your videos might be used as case studies in universities abroad.
you. Yeah.
Just saying, just saying, just saying. So it's really nice what you do. And it's really great what you do. Now, one question that pops in mind is the Mr. Macaroni brand. I know this is out of context for what me and my producers have talked about. But the Mr. Macaroni brand, if you look at it in the next 15 to 20 years, where do you see? I know you have evolved from the whole. I know you have various expressions, right, of Mr. Macaroni. But where do you see your brand in the next few years, 20, 30 years? And one question in that question would be, when you get married, because we're going to ask you who that person is. And I know you will answer because you are our friend, so you cannot run away. But when you get married, right, do you see yourself involving rather your children and your wife in your skits full time?
Mm, mm.
So a question in a question.
Okay. So, well, in 15 years, I don't know. I don't know. My brand is people oriented first.
Yeah.
It's a brand for the people, and it's intentional because I don't see myself living my life another way. I'm
Mm,
committed to helping lives grow. I'm committed to
mm,
helping people develop. And I'm
mm,
still committed to using my art, my
mm,
platform, and my
yeah.
voice to speak to society
Mm,
as a proud alumnus of Redeemers University under the
yeah.
tutelage of one of the greatest dramatists we have ever had in this country, Professor Ahmed Yarima. He has taught
Mm,
me that drama must teach, drama must inform, drama must entertain, it must educate society. Most
mm-hmm,
importantly, drama must rejuvenate society. So
mm-hmm,
I find myself strongly for using my contents to speak to the consciousness of the people as
yeah.
regards our society. So
Great.
we are still in 15 years' time, it's still going to be for the people. Just
Mm,
that um, the there are different characters now. Well, yes, there's the sugar daddy, there's daddy wild and the daughter is always bringing different men.
mm-hmm,
Professor Hard Life, they sometimes I appear as Debo too. So we will keep building. At the end of the day, the goal is what I've stated earlier, or the
mm,
goals rather, entertainment. We would
mm,
not stop entertaining.
mm,
Would we find more ways, better ways, more diversifying ways of doing this? Definitely yes. Would
great.
we would we bring in more talents on board? Right now, at least by God's grace, there's Momiwa, there's Motunde, who at least are gaining their own grounds. People are knowing them. There's Corex.
Yeah.
So Mr. Macaroni Entertainment wants to bring more people on board. We want to, by
Yeah.
God's grace, develop
Yeah.
other artists, other talents out there.
Mm, mm,
Um, in response to okay, so conclusively on in 15 years time where we see
yeah.
ourselves, yeah, definitely doing better by God's grace. Beyond, in fact, when people call me a comedian, I always laugh because I know by myself, I know I've always been a very serious actor.
Mm-hmm,
I started doing the short comics online out of desperation and depression. I was tired.
wow.
I was depressed, and I'm like, what? Because I wasn't getting the roles I wanted.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting the balls. I'll go for auditions, nothing. So I
Mm,
said,
mm,
people are doing stuff online. Let me also try. And I just said, okay, let me just, and that was it. So, definitely, but in 15 years, we are fully established as that's the firm, that's Mr. Macaroni as the brand, Debo Adebayo as the actor, an actor that
mm,
is going to display as many roles as possible. So not just comedy. Sometimes we want to go into serious tragedy.
mm.
So just so Mr. Macaroni, the brand, is strictly for and beyond entertainment. You know.
Great, great, great.
So as for my wife and my children
Yeah.
in my
Yeah. So
videos.
if you can answer that in like 1 minute, because my producers are already on my neck.
Oh,
So
right. Okay, well, that one is actually a very short answer because right now, I'm not thinking about marriage, so I wouldn't know how
Mm,
to answer.
mm,
So I don't
mm,
know. Maybe when I start thinking about marriage, if they want to, if I get married, if my wife wants to, and if my children want to, why not?
mm.
But right now, anything marriage, I'm not thinking about
Maybe in the next 2 years. We'll talk about that after this break. We'll take a break and then we will come back to, talk about, his career. And who knows, we might ask some more questions about what to expect from Debo, aka Mr. Macaroni. GBK, are you still there?
Yes, I am. So we're going on a break and we'll be back shortly.
Okay.
For scholarship, mentorship, and friendship that guarantees the net worth of your network and increases your employability, enroll at Redeemers University. Be equipped with intra and entrepreneurial skills while activating your leadership potential under world-class mentors and scholars. We are currently offering admission to over 45 fully accredited programs in the faculties of engineering, law, basic medical sciences, management sciences, social sciences, natural sciences, environmental sciences, and humanities. For inquiries, visit adms.ron.edu.ng or call 0700 700 8000 or 0807 300 4715. Scholarships are available. Join us today at Redeemers University as we run with a vision.
All right, welcome back to the Alumni Showcase. In case you're just joining us, we have Mr. Macaroni, excuse me, Debo Macaroni, as our guest today, and it has been actually a very inciting, conversation about his university time, and us has also asked something very important about the future of his brand, and it's been actually amazing so far. So, Debo, I do have one more question about Ron I would like to ask you, and then we'll move fully into your career. So, you've spoken so much about Ron, even when you're talking about, your career, your career insights. You mentioned Professor Yerima, and the great words that you have held on to. Theater must inspire, it must, I don't want to sound like Martin Luther King right now, but you know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I really would like to ask. I know you also shared some videos with us, which were some images with us, and we'll be showing them shortly. But what would you say were your fond memories of your time in the Redeemers University? Because you kept on saying that you gave it your all. So, what would be your fondest memories? What would be the fondest memories that you had?
it. Most of my fun memories would be challenging the authorities. You know, we always had we had this heated we had these heated meetings, and where I always, so when I look back at those moments, I always enjoyed them because I found myself speaking for every
Mm,
Redeemer student, and it was amazing. Others would be, for instance, my administration. There was one very loud students' day that we did, which in a long while in Redeemer University at the time we had never had anything like that. It was so fun. Like, it brought back the idea of being in a university environment that the social life is actually bubbling, So I was really happy with what we did at the time. I'm like, oh yes, if the joy of a university is if the students are happy and they're saying good things about the
yeah.
university. So it was majorly my administration, my time as president.
All right, thank you so much. We also have a couple of pictures that we'd like to show you guys from Debo's time in Ron. Yes, so didn't really change much. So I'm guessing these are your department people as well. Ah,
Yeah.
thespian.
This was Iyase by Ahmed Yerima.
Ah, you seem to love
Yeah.
Amenima.
He's my I don't know. I don't know if saying he's my everything is okay, but I don't know. It's just he's beyond a father, he's a teacher, he's a mentor, he's an absolute inspiration. Shokwe. Ah, this day was when I was giving awards. Wahala that day, oh. Serious wahala.
What do you mean
A
wahala?
project
Oh, yeah, give us
defense.
wahala now. Give us the small
Ah,
wahala.
that gist. With that one, that was when we gave awards to staff members, but we did not give awards to the management staff.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, it was serious wahala. We gave we gave to all the um, junior staff, but we didn't give to management staff at all.
Okay. Thank God, as you said, all things have passed away.
All things have passed away. Please, if anybody's seeing this video, know that I have nothing but love in my heart for everybody.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right. Thank you so much. It was absolutely great seeing, some of the, it's also good that you have images of your time, at Ron and all. So right now, we just want to go straight into your career. Like, you've already started dropping little hints here and there. And I actually wanted to, you've already said, it was depression that caused you to start, online comedy. So what led
Yes.
to that depression? Was it just because, it's like the village people started chasing you again? Where you've gone for audition, and there were other things, other underlying things that were, were just making everything just look so blurry and so gloomy
Mm.
for you.
It was the frustration. For artists, an artist wants his or her work to be seen. The value of the work of an artist is in the appreciation of the art itself. So whether you're an actor, you want to see people watch you perform. That's why you're an actor. Whether you sing, you want people to listen to your music, and you want to know if they feel if they feel that music. So if you're drawing, you want someone to appreciate your artwork. So an artist wants his or her work to be seen. So, and once an artist wants to express, art is expression. So then I'll go for auditions. So it wasn't about village people. I just felt like I was at the time, maybe I was not just patient. I was very impatient. I wanted to be seen. I wanted my work as an artist to be seen. So I was like, what is going on? I'll I'll go for auditions and the judges will be looking at me as if I'm fooling myself. So at the point I started to doubt my talent. And I started to ask myself that, yeah, I mean, was Yerima lying to me when I was in school? Because Yerima would tell me, "Oh, you are a wonderful actor. You are." So I'll be looking at Yerima. You said I'm a good actor. Why are these judges not seeing it? So I was tired. I was frustrated. And I was at home and, the roles were not coming. And I would see, because I used to chat with a lot of friends who were in the entertainment industry. So sometimes I'll see their pictures, they are on location, they're on this, and I'm looking like, is it that I don't know how to act and I'm deceiving myself that I know how to act? Let me put no about sit down one place, you know. But then I I I looked, I said, okay, look, everyone is doing something on social media. They are just recording themselves and putting it out there. You never can tell. I used to feel so stupid, because I didn't want to. It was something I didn't want to do, recording short videos and putting them online. I wanted to do proper movies. Just take me to Kunle Afolayan, let me act for him so that we know that, hey, see actor. But, I started to record those short videos because I was just tired and I wanted to express myself.
Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. Thank you so much. It is actually, I like the juxtaposition where, you're creating happy content and the happy content came from a place of being sad.
Actually, actually, yes. Actually,
And everything has balanced out right now.
in
Okay.
fact, we thank God.
All right. Thank you so much. Actually, very interesting. And I did want to ask, by the grace of God, Mr. Macaroni is a name that almost, if not all Nigerians can resonate with.
Yeah.
And how did you actually come about that name? Like, of all names to pick, of all alter egos to pick, Mr. Macaroni.
I was already
How?
macaroni run now. Yeah, because macaroni, I got the name I didn't get the name in one of the former universities. So the university I went to, the one I was saying, they said I should come and do English when I told them, when they gave me admission for theater. So then, I said I would just go to audition and things, and
Yeah,
I was actually getting some roles. It was not just the major roles
yeah.
I was
The
getting.
Kule Afolayan
So
rules.
yeah, so before I went to Abua, just before I was going into Abua, I was on Face to Face, the popular TV series, so just for one of their minor roles. But the director at the time, he liked my acting and he wanted me to have a name in the series. So,
Uh-huh.
the directors, there's a way they'll just say, you give yourself name now, you don't get name for the studio, find name for yourself. So when he said it, from nowhere, I just said Mr. Macaroni. Because of the old school rhyme, Mr. Macaroni, riding on a bicycle.
Okay.
And because it was comedy, Face to Face is comedy. So I said, oh, okay, Mr. Macaroni, I just said it. So he just looked at me, okay. So when I got to that school, people would now ask me, what's your name? So I'll just say Macaroni. And there was this girl, Dedu. There was a way she would call me macaroni outside in public. Hey, when she sees me, she said, macaroni. So my head would just swell and say, oh no, I'm keeping this name. So since that time, I've been using macaroni.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually very interesting to know. So now, something I've always wanted to ask you, and I'm sure Osas also has some questions you'd like to ask you. Um, how do you conceptualize your episodes? Like, everyone knows
Hmm.
Daddy Y is a very wonderful man that just likes looking for people that his daughter's age. So how did you actually come up with that alter ego and, maintain, this you're doing well, Daddy Y, or yeah, brand, if I'm allowed to put it that way.
Right. So, well, society provides the artist with basic raw materials to present his or her art. So, for instance, yesterday I was reading comments actually on one particular post. Okay, it was one of my former episodes on a bank. I did something about bank share, and I was just going through the comments, and I saw a comment, and that comment birthed an inspiration. I'm going to shoot something from that comment on Monday because I got inspired by that content. So the things we read, the things we see, the things we hear, the things that happen around us, those are the things that give me my inspiration. Sometimes I'm just in a gathering, I see something, someone is doing something, I link one or two, I say, oh, I can make something out of this. Particularly also because I'm very involved in speaking up. Sometimes when things happen in the society, government or government parastatals, I want to use that thing that happened to create content. So basically, it's the society. Society feeds me with the materials that I use.
All right. So it's nice that you've spoken about society and okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So it's nice that you spoke about society, and how that has contributed to your growth.
Yeah.
Now, how in the early stages of your career, how did society not contribute? Um, can you mention one time where it seemed like you were you were not going to do acting anymore, or you were not even going to do skit making anymore?
Well, maybe because I have coconut head. I, as far as acting is concerned, I never questioned whether I would be an actor. I love expressing myself. I love as an artist. So
Mm,
it's always been in me. And I'm like, look, you see this industry the other day. So I find myself going for auditions and all of that. Although I got
Yeah.
tired at some point, it was that depression that. So instead, at that time, what I would have done would be say, okay, look, I give up. Let me go and find a job somewhere and be
Yeah.
doing work. But it was that energy I converted into making my short videos and saying, okay, look, let's see how far that goes. At least
Yeah.
I'm not getting the roles I want to, but if I'm doing this one, if people like it, oh, why not? So, but there are sometimes, people have stuff to say, negative stuff about your craft. It's okay because I
Mm.
have come to the reality, not just now, since early days, especially when I was in school, my school days, that not everybody would appreciate what you do, which is totally
Mm.
fine. They will
Yeah.
have you will find some people who say that, "Oh, I don't just like you," which is everyone has their preferences. So I think I'm a realist, and I've come to the reality that look, no matter how much you do or what you do, not everyone will like you, and you have to concentrate on those that appreciate what you do.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So I think GBK has a question, and then we have something to show you guys. So GBK, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Osas. Yeah, I've always wanted to ask. You have this fantastic alter ego, that you are, and I feel sometimes it might actually be pinching some people who is affecting stylishly. So, just some have you probably had any backlash from people saying, why are you spoiling market for us, Daddy? What kind of thing?
Yeah, of course. There was one time at the airport, one man saw me and he almost laughed at me. Ìwọ, orí ẹ ò pé, gbogbo àṣírí wa ló ti tú síta. Yeah, but at the end, it came from a light note, like it was just playing with me, But I understood that, some of these men, that's how some of them are. So but funny enough, a lot of them do. Whenever they bump into me, I see the excitement. They want to take pictures. They love my works, and so I feel, I don't know. While they know that some of them have that behavioral pattern, I think they also appreciate the humor that comes with it. But at the same time, um, maybe they might not. They might get the messages, but shy away from the messages. But I think the messages are usually clear that, okay, look, um, this particular pattern is not the way to go about it. That it's not.
Yeah,
So that's why I intentionally make sure the man, the freaky daddy, never gets the what he's looking for. That chance you will just keep wasting your money, and it's just to pretty much tell you that, look, why don't you be committed? Why don't you stay faithful?
yeah. All right, lovely. Thank you so much. So we also have another video that we'd like to show you guys, and this is basically an array of yeah, industry photos by Debo. And
This
I
one with Akin Lewis is. I'm gonna drop the video tomorrow. I just made that.
oh, okay, wow,
Yeah.
nice,
So you
exclusive.
heard it here first.
Thank you. And I did want to ask. I noticed that you have this movie with Kule Afolayan Ayinla. So how did you feel when you finally, like, you already spoke that you wanted to do something with Kule Afolayan. Finally, it materialized. How did you react, or how did you accept that?
In fact, when Tunde Kilani called me, because he called me himself. When he
Wow,
called me, I'm like, someone wake me up. Is it Tunde
bless.
Kilani? Are you playing with me? Like,
Wow,
I was so excited. And for a lot of reasons. Why me? Why me? So I was so happy that, and because what the role I played had nothing to do with the Freaky Daddy or anything. So I'm saying, okay, someone actually sees me for the actor that me is. You understand? And it brought so much happiness and joy. I'm like, okay. And then when, of course, so before then I had even met Kunle Afolayan. We had met a couple of times, and I'm like, this man, I heard him, this man, and by God's grace, we have something in the book. So it was so great. It's fulfilling knowing that, okay, you pray for this stuff, you work towards it, and it's coming to reality.
all right, lovely. Before I hand over to Osas again, one more question from me, and that's: Do you you mentioned something about Mr. Macaroni Entertainment? So I believe that's like your corporate arm that manages
Yes,
your all your entertainment works and all.
yes,
Do you also have a platform where you use entertainment as a tool to empower young people? Because obviously you have a very great breakout story. God has done it for you. The other people
yes,
who are aspiring, to be like you, or to walk your footsteps. So do you have like a platform where you can encourage these people?
yes. So, well, apart from the fact that a number of my videos, I also try to bring in, and funny enough, okay, like for instance, Corex now, I'm really focusing on Corex for the time being because, again, Corex is also run alumnus and individuals. I
Okay.
try to
You have a
surround
thing
myself.
for your friends, your gang
Ye-
members.
Yeah, yeah, because my time in run, like I always say, was very eventful. Forget about maybe what really happened later in the days, but because I grew to genuinely love the students, and I want to believe they had same love for me. I find a lot of them still around me for that love that we have always shared. So in my videos, I still try to bring some people on board and say, "Oh, let's do this." But beyond that, we are working on a platform,
Okay.
Savvy Tribe. You heard that here first, also.
So
So
exclusive.
we-
Wow, wow, wow. Thank
Savvy
you.
Tribe. So yes, by God's grace, that's the platform that we have created and we are growing. It's a platform for the community and for the creators. A platform where you can showcase your work, where we are going to be producing movies for you. We're going to be producing content for creators so that you're not just there feeling depressed. Come and do it. We'll do it for you. We'll
Mm,
also market it. We'll also show it to the world.
awesome.
We don't need you to pay us money. We're doing it to encourage their talent. And for every time I win an award or something, I always said that there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of Nigerians who can do even better than I am doing. All they need is a platform. All they need is an environment that enables them to
Yes.
achieve their potential. So that's where
Absolutely.
we are. And we're on that.
All right. Thank you so much. Osas, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Debo. Thanks for being a part of the alumni showcase. Definitely, we should do part two of this because I'm sure
Oh,
we didn't
yes.
we didn't exhaust so much of of what we wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes. And I'm sure
But
by the part two, I will not be inside my car. So I'll
no,
be.
no, no, you be you be in another place. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we wish you the very best.
Thank you
Much
very
more
much.
than the best in your career and in your endeavors. And probably in the next time we meet, probably you'll be telling us you're engaged to someone, and you let us know who that person is. You let us know who that person is. Thank you so much. We wish we can do like a virtual high five or a virtual handshake or something, but well, that yeah, so that works. Great. Thank you so much, Macaroni.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank
much,
you so much
Debo.
for having
Debo.
me.
I don't know which one to call you, whether Debo or Macaroni. I'm just saying all your names
Everyone
all
is
at once. All
valid.
right. All right. So for myself, from Mr. Macaroni, from GB Care, we're saying have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your week. Happy New Month in advance. Remember to follow the Redeemers University on all social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Redeemers University Alumni Association. Well, that's a private Facebook group. So on Twitter, it's at the Run Alumni, and on Instagram at the Run Alumni. Have an amazing, fabulous weekend. Happy New Month once again.